Welcome to Thinque Prep's Grammar Series. My name is Nina, and I'm an academic coach here at Thinque. Today, I'll be teaching you about semicolons and how to use them. As you may already know, this is a semicolon. This piece of punctuation doesn't receive nearly as much attention as its relatives, the comma and the period. For that reason, the semicolon seems to be highly mysterious to students. If you're like most people, you probably just avoid using it at all. This strategy will help you get through life just fine, but it won't get you a high score on the SAT and ACT English sections. You may be asking, what does a semicolon do? Well, to answer that, a semicolon is most commonly used to connect closely related ideas when a style mark stronger than a comma is needed. Check out this example. I put on a jacket. I knew it was going to be cold that day. Here, the ideas that the writer put on a jacket and her purpose for putting on that jacket are very closely related. Putting a period between these statements might seem like too much of a pause. However, putting a comma between these statements would be grammatically incorrect. This is because each statement is an independent clause, also called a complete sentence. When you put a comma between two complete thoughts, the resulting error is called a comma splice, and we don't want that. At this point, you might be thinking, wait, isn't separating complete thoughts just what a period does? Well, guess what? You're right. A semicolon works almost exactly like a period. The only difference is that periods can be used to separate any two thoughts, while semicolons can only be used to connect two closely related thoughts. Speaking honestly, using a semicolon is basically optional. It makes writing more stylish, but unlike a period, which is absolutely necessary to make writing make sense, a semicolon just adds a bit of extra flavor. Now it's your turn to try semicolons out. Look at this first example. He played Super Mario for 4 hours straight. That was the longest he had ever played. That sounds a little weird when I read it, huh? It's clear that some kind of pause is needed. But where should it go? Take a moment and try to decide where to put a semicolon in this statement. If you said that the semicolon should go after the word straight, you're right. Putting a semicolon here gives us the brief pause we need between two closely connected thoughts. Well done. Let's try an example with multiple answer choices. This example says, a week ago, I scheduled a visit to my doctor to ensure proper health. He said I would need to exercise more and eat more healthy foods. Take a look at the answer options. Which answer makes the sentence grammatically correct? If you guessed answer D, then great job. Putting a semicolon here separates the two independent clauses. Let's try another. This sentence says, I was thrilled when I found out I got the new job. However, my friends were sad that I had to move away. Which selection makes this sentence grammatically correct? The answer to this question is B. As in the previous example, the semicolon between job and however correctly separates the two independent clauses. Nice work! This next one says, scientists discovered a new element that would provide useful benefits to the transportation industry, allowing companies to slash their costs dramatically. Which one do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer to this question is A. Though the part of the sentence before the comma is an independent clause, the part after the comma is not. So putting a semicolon or a period here would be incorrect. A comma keeps the whole sentence together without creating fragments. Let's try one last practice question. This sentence says, some students choose not to take online classes because they prefer being face-to-face with their instructor and fellow students. Which one do you think is correct? Hang on. Before you decide on that answer, here's a pro tip. If two answer choices are exactly the same, except that one uses a semicolon and the other uses a period, cross them both out. As I explained earlier, semicolons and periods do basically the same thing, so the test will never make you choose between them. All right, let's get back to that question. If you guessed that the correct answer is D, you're right. Check out the answer options one more time. Answers B and C are exactly the same, except that one uses a semicolon and the other uses a period. According to our pro tip, you can cross both of those answers out right away. That leaves us with A and D. Answer A doesn't use a colon correctly, so that leaves us with D, the correct answer. No punctuation needed. I hope that this video has made the semicolon less of a mystery. Enjoy being the envy of your friends, looking super fancy while you write, and getting a higher score on the SAT and ACT English sections. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.